If you guys can go ahead and drop in the chat your name and let us know where you're joining from. We're going to get started in just a moment. Good evening, Lady Renee. Good evening, Crystal. Thank y'all so much for joining. Hey, if you guys know of any parents who may be interested in tutoring or homeschooling, you can drop give them the link to join. And it's also being streamed on YouTube and Facebook. So I hope that it's going out to everyone. I'm gonna give everyone about another minute or so, and then we're gonna get started, okay? But go ahead. Thank y'all for joining. Thank you so much for joining. Invite your family and friends. I think it's going to be a great session on today. All right. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. I think we are excited. And I'm glad that you all are here. So I was trying to get everything together. So we are on Zoom, we're on um Facebook, and we're on YouTube. So hey everybody, I'm trying to man all of the chats and all of those things. But I'm so glad that you guys are here. I see y'all commenting in the chat box. And I also have my teammate on here, Mrs. Fun. She's the chief of fun, Miss Craig. So she's also here, and she will be dropping some things as well in the chat. And so if you have questions or anything, drop them there. But hopefully I can explain everything to you guys as much as I can. But again, good evening, everybody. So glad to see everybody, and so many familiar faces. My parents are hopping on here. I'm so proud. Okay. Hey y'all. Hey. I'm excited about tonight. I'm really excited about all of the things that God has done with EB Academy. And so tonight I get to kind of let a lot of you in my world to kind of see what I've been doing. and what's going on in the future of education. I am so excited that you guys are here. Again, you may see some stuff going in the chat from Mrs. Fun, Chief of Fun, Mrs. Craig. And so she'll be dropping some important links and things in there for you guys on tonight. So you all will be able to kind of keep up with everything. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to drop them in the chat, okay? I will just say this is being recorded. And so if you do happen to get off of mute for any reason, if you could please just make sure that you stay muted until we have time for Q&A. But we're going to jump in. I do not want to keep you guys long. It is 7:07, so we'll go ahead and get started. So tonight we're going to go ahead and talk about, first of all, EB Academy, as well as the Choose Act, which most of you guys are wanting to know more information about. So tonight I just have a cute little agenda. So we're going to, for those of you who may not know me, you'll get an introduction of me, what EB Academy is, and the model that EB Academy can help with your scholars' education. We're going to talk about the Choose Act. What is it? What does it do? What is it for? And how you guys can apply for that as well. And then I'll take any questions and try to answer as much as I can tonight concerning EB Academy and the Choose Act. And so we're going to get started. So for those of you who may not know me, my name is Sharissa Taylor. I am the founder of I Teach, I Coach LLC and EB Academy. And so, just a little bit about me. I graduated from Alabama State University in 2005. I've taught in the school system for 16 years, and then I went and started my own business. I taught in public and charter school systems, West Hill Elementary and Legacy Prep. At West Hills Elementary, I was an ARI reading coach for 3.5 years. And I kind of start tutoring scholars in 2017 here and there. It really wasn't something that I thought I would be doing full time. However, some God had another plan for me. So I started tutoring in 2017. I left Legacy Prep May of 2021 and started my business full time with I Teach, I Coach LLC, where I became a private teacher for one scholar. And that's a whole nother conversation for another day, and we don't have time to talk about that, but that was such a blessing for me. I was able to secure that contract with that scholar for the same amount of pay that I would have gotten at the school system. So that was a blessing for me. And from that, I was able to come on out of public education, and I started my own business called I Teach, I Coach LLC. In 2022, the summer of 2022, I started Camp EB. Many of you guys do not know, but EB does stand for Ella Baker. That's another conversation for another day as well. But Camp EB started the summer of 2022, which is a 6-week summer camp that I hosted right here in my home. A lot of you guys have been in here, parents, kids. I had about 12 kids in and out of my home. My business started as a home-based business, and everything was ran right here in my home. Um, and then this year in March, I moved from being a home-based business to an actual building. So God has really expanded. I Teach, I Coach LLC, and I'm excited about all of the things He's done. And so this is a little bit about me. And so I Teach, I Coach offers many services, but the services that we offer is private tutoring and homeschooling. Homeschooling is where you have to, your child is not in public education, but they're at home and they're learning with either you or a private tutor who is certified with the state of Alabama. I am still a certified teacher, though I'm not in the school system. However, I'm still certified and I'm able to be a private tutor for homeschoolers. Also, I offer private tutoring services for those who are in homeschool and or regular public education school. Their private tutoring happens after school or on the weekends. So those are two things that my business helps. And many of you guys, y'all know me, so y'all kind of know this, but just for logistic wise, I'm just going over this for everybody, just in case we have any new parents who may want to know about what I do. So I just wanted to kind of go over all of that with you all. So, homeschooling in the state of Alabama, a homeschooler has to be in a homeschool program for at least 3 hours a day, 5 days a week, and they have to have, if they're not with a some type of church school or whatever like that, there are some logistic things that they have to do in order with the State Department of Education to be in appliance. And so, what I did with EB Academy is I turned it into what is called a micro school. Micro schools are happening all over the place. When you think about micro, it's something that's very small. So, my homeschool program is a very small setting for students in Alabama who choose to go this homeschool path, but their parents cannot homeschool them. They want someone to do it for them, but they want to be in a homeschool program. And so that's what EB Academy does. In the morning time, I have homeschoolers who come in person and virtual. And what we do is I am their teacher for about 4 hours a day. They're with me. And then after that, they get to go home and do whatever they want to do. And so a micro school is a small school setting for homeschoolers. Um, the state of Alabama has taken a very significant role in providing all families with a better education and different options. So, homeschooling is one, private school is one, church schools are one. Parents can literally start their own school with their children in a homeschool setting. However, if you do not want to be your child's teacher and you want someone else to do it, that's when you hire a private tutor. And that's where I come in with my micro school. It is a small private learning environment designed to give children a more personalized instruction in a safe, small setting. So I don't in my homeschool want to have more than about 10 to 12 kids. If probably 10 may be my max, depending on grade ranges, and it's personalized. So, meaning that if your scholar is a fifth grader, however, they may need third grade math skills, I'm flexible and I'm able to do that. Or if your scholar is a fifth grader and they can do sixth or seventh grade math, in a homeschool setting, you can do that. There's no laws that say that, hey, my child is in fifth grade and they can only do fifth grade learning. No, I can attest, and Miss Craig can attest to this, even in my private tutoring setting. I was tutoring her niece at the time, and I was able to also tutor her niece who was in the fifth grade, but her son was in the third and he was doing the fifth grade work. So when you tutoring is it can be for remedial help or to progress and do above and beyond where they already are. But in my micro school, I'm able to personalize that instruction based on that child's need. Um, they're a little bit different from public schools. In public schools, you have to worry about the ACAP, the test scores, and all that kind of stuff. With a homeschool program, you don't have to worry about that standardized testing. There are some things that you will need to get in place if you want to pull your children out of school and you want them to continue to have those credits and stuff for high school. There are a few things that you would need to do on the back end, but EB Academy does offer a small micro school setting for personalized learning in a small class size. And also, I offer tutoring services for grades pre-K up into 12th grade. And that is private tutoring from all year round and summer. Some of the pictures that you see here are from summer. We took some of the kids to, I have a, like I said, summer camp. We took them to Atlanta. So you'll see some of the pictures there. You see the picture with the fellow right here smiling, right here at the bottom. I think you can probably see. I hope my mouse is going around, but this is my first ever scholar whose parents took a leap of faith on me to be their child's teacher, and I actually went to their home. Now I actually do it out of the comfort of my own home and building. And even the camp was also in my home. So I do offer private tutoring services year round, and also a 6-week summer camp starting in June and July. And so let's go and talk about the Choose Act. I know a lot of you guys want to know a little bit more about this and how this can help you with your child's education, whether it is homeschooling and or private tutoring. So I Coach LLC, and EB Academy is a proud vendor for the Choose Act. My business is an approved education service provider business, meaning that I can provide services through the state of Alabama, and the state will fund those services, right? And so that's what the Choose Act is for. A lot of people, and you probably have heard, a lot of people were kind of like, I don't know what this is. I don't know if I should do this. I don't know. But I have some parents who are even on right now tonight who are receiving these funds, and their child is getting additional assistance with me for free. They don't have to pay anything out of their pocket. And I think everybody can use a little extra help. So I've been kind of singing like a canary for everybody to get on and know more about this, because this is a blessing to help your child become better in whatever it is that they need to, get better in academically. And so what is the Choose Act? The Choose Act is basically called the Creating Hope and Opportunity for Our Students Educational Act of 2024, by the Alabama Department of Revenue. It makes refundable income tax credits called ESA, or Educational Savings Accounts, available to support kids in K-5 through 12 in Alabama. Now, this is just for students in Alabama. So if you live in Alabama, your home address is in Alabama, your child can receive state funds for private tutoring and or homeschooling. Okay. And so what happens is they give you an ESA, which is an educational savings account. It's a digital account with the money inside of it to use it to pay for tuition, fees, and other qualified, that's the thing, qualified educational expenses approved by the ESP in Alabama. So, going back to what I told you guys earlier, I am an ESP provider for the state of Alabama. And so, in order to use these funds, it has to be with an approved vendor. I Coach LLC was approved last December. Praise God. What this means is you can apply to get $7,000 for private school education, or up to $4,000 for homeschool education. Okay, I'll say that again. If you apply and you're like, hey, I think my child needs a little bit more help in math, or I think I want to pull my baby out of public education and put them in a private school, or hey, I think I'm going to pull my baby out of public education and I'm going to put them in homeschool. Well, the state of Alabama is giving you guys up to $7,000 for that. Okay, but you must apply. And I have been trying to tell everybody that I know about it, because the applications are getting ready to open soon. And those who are actually already enrolled for this school year, applications are being open for you guys to get renewed for next year. So we'll talk about that. So $7,000 if you enroll into a school. Now, this particular school must be a private school. I am not a private school. I am a micro school. So my school falls under homeschooling, right? Private schools are like Restoration Academy. Um, I think Cornerstone are some of those private Christian academies. You can get up to $7,000 to get your scholar enrolled in that participating school if you are choosing a different route than public education. Um, Also, you can get up to $2,000 to $4,000 for it says home education program. That's the tricky thing. A lot of people thought it was just for homeschooling. No, I have students who are receiving public education, but they got the Choose Act money for private tutoring. A home education program is what I do. I do private tutoring services, meaning that your child can use that $2,000 for private tutoring throughout the school year. The funds are, once you get approved, the funds are released in July and they must be spent by June. So you have literally a year to use those funds. Again, for private education is 7,000 for homeschooling programs or private tutoring. It is up to $4,000. Now, the please understand that for this particular school year, the application closed already. So I am only getting you guys set up for next school year. I do apologize. A lot of people heard about it last year, but didn't kind of jump on it, was kind of iffy about it. And did not know. But I'm getting this resource out to you guys because I believe that this will be a good thing for parents if your child is struggling in reading or math. One of the reasons why I am so passionate about what I do is I work with a program called Freedom Schools. And I learned that prisons are built on third grade reading data. A lot of people don't know that. Prisons, they have built your child a prison cell based off of their third grade reading data. And that is just ridiculous to me. But I found that out when I was working with that program, and I just really became a little bit annoyed by that. And so I've spent since I found out about that in 2019. And I just been really passionate about helping our kids succeed, knowing that the US government is basing prison cells on reading data of a third grader. And so if your child needs help in reading or math, I think they've already put the law in place where if your child is not reading on grade level by third grade, they can be retained. Those types of things are already been put in place. But if your child needs help and they're in public education, here's a resource, a tool of free money that you guys can use for private tutoring. I'm not just saying with me, you can do it for anybody as long as they are an approved ESP provider. Okay, and that's an education service provider. Any person who has that um, title behind their name or got approved, you can use this money for them. I'm not just talking about for me, but for anything. It helps also to buy iPads, laptops, all types of things as long as it's approved through the Choose Act. So for 2026, 2027 academic year, the application is opening in January. So for those of you who have not applied, or if you applied last year and did not get it, your time is coming to reapply. It opens January the 2nd. For everybody on this call and everybody who registered and everybody that I'm attached to, I'm going to shout it out and tell you, hey, go get this. Whether you think you need it or not, at least go and apply. And we're going to talk about what the requirements are so that you can know exactly what it is that you need. But this is a resource to help your child, and I think it'll be beneficial for you. For those of you who are already awarded this particular year and you want to renew, that application opens on Monday, the 15th. Okay, so if you are a current Choose Act vendor parent, then you need to go ahead, and you probably have gotten emails, calls, and texts as well about your application being renewed, because you guys, I think, will automatically get in next year. So if you currently already have that, you need to go ahead and um, jump on that for my current parents. But new families, you will be able to open up the application on January the 2nd. There are some requirements. Your child must be in grades K 5 through 12, starting that school year. They must be a resident in Alabama, so your address and your stuff must be in Alabama, and your household does not exceed the 300% of the federal poverty level for the 2025 tax year. So they will need your tax documents, and if you exceed the federal poverty level, then you will not qualify. However, in 2027 and 2028, there is no income requirement. It's just free money for everybody. Okay? Free money out there for everybody. If you do not qualify, if you didn't qualify last year, and if you don't qualify this year or that's coming up, in 2027, 2028, you can still apply and there is no household income requirement. Okay. So again, new families, the application opens on January the 2nd. Everybody who has registered for this event, you will be able to get the emails, text message. I'm calling everybody. Hey, go ahead and apply. Even if you don't think you're gonna make it, or you don't think that you're gonna qualify, apply anyway and allow them to tell you that you do not qualify. Okay, I say that I will tell everybody, try it out and see. You can only see. Okay, to get the help and the things that you need for your scholar. So if you are, again, a renewing parent, you can go ahead and complete your application starting on Monday. Um, I think you still will use like your login and password and all of that. If you now, I did have a family who um applied for the home for a private school. Their private school's scholars education was 6,400 for the year, and they had about $600 left over of the $7,000. Well, that $600 they are now using for private tutoring or for an iPad or for school supplies. I'm telling you, try everybody, please apply. Please apply. There are some things that you'll need. You'll need to know if your child is going to a private school, the name of that school that they will attend. Again, if it's for home education, meaning homeschooling programs or a micro school like me, or private tutoring, please, this money can be used for private tutoring services, homework help services. This money can be used for that. You will need to have those the same. This won't be required, so the school name won't be required. So you'll just say that they're getting private tutoring or homeschooling services or home education services. You will need the child's birth certificate, and if you're adding new students, so let's say your scholar last year was in pre-K, but they weren't going to kindergarten, but they are this upcoming school year. If you need to add them, you'll need to have a birth certificate. Okay. The application portal for renewing parents is from December the 15th to March the 31st. So you have a big window of getting this application done. This is for renewing parents. So these are people who are already awarded the Choose Act for 2025, 2026. Um, Once you renew, you'll start getting some things. The program where you will get this from is called Class Wallet. for those of you new parents who will be applying this year. And if you receive the funds, you'll know a little bit more about Class Wallet as well. There will be a renewal link that's going to be sent to you. And if you do not complete the application, the renewal application, then your scholar will not get those funds for the next school year. So it has to be completed by March the 31st of next year. This is for renewing parents only. So for my new parents, meaning you're new to the Choose Act, you've never done it before, you applied last year and it didn't work, you just hearing about it for the first time. This is for what you would need, okay? This is what you would need if you are a new parent. If you are a new parent, this is what you would need, okay? And you don't have to really write this stuff down or screenshot. I'm going to share, or Chief of Fun is probably sharing it in the chat, the link. All of this information is public information. You can go out and find it on their website. Okay, so the things that you would need as a new applicant, new parent, new time, first time doing this. You will need, hold on one second. Someone is annotating. I'm gonna try to stop this. Let's see. I don't know who that is. Let me try to clear it off. Okay. I don't know why it's doing that. Someone is annotating. Let's see if I can disable that. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So new parents, you will need your child's birth certificate. Okay. You will need proof of residence. They must live in the state of Alabama. Now, let me say this, especially those who are homeschooling. I have a homeschooler who does not reside in Birmingham, but he's in Alabama. And he is able to be a part of my homeschool program because he's in Alabama. Okay. So as long as you are in the state of Alabama, your address is in Alabama, you have a proof of residence, you are able to apply. But these are the things that you're going to need when you apply. So start gathering your things together. Okay. You're going to need documents of your address, where you live, your tax returns, your license, your ID, a utility bill, your mortgage or rental or lease agreement. You need those things in order to verify that you live in this address. Okay. You also need to confirm that you are going to be a resident for 2026, 2027. You need to also confirm if you're going to be an active duty or service member enrolled in a school in Alabama. So if you're in the military and things like that, you have to confirm that with them as well. And your household requirements. Now, this is where it gets tricky, okay? Because you may look at this and say, oh, I may not make it, but I am telling you to apply. Let them tell you that you don't make it or you don't qualify, okay? But please apply. A household of one can't make more than 46, 47. Okay. A household of two, 63. A household of three, okay, 79 or 80,000 a year. All right. This is what they're going to be looking for. If your household exceeds this, then you may not qualify. But don't fret, you may not qualify for next school year. However, I said in 27 and 28 school year, there is no income requirements. All right, no income requirements. If you're a household of one and you make more than 47,000 a year, okay, they may say, no, you don't qualify. One person household, you and the child, okay, two people person household, 63 450. Okay. So check these out. I think Mrs. Craig is dropping the link in the chat as well. So you can go look at this data yourself. However, I am saying to you, just apply and allow them to tell you that you don't meet it or not. Okay. Because every situation is different. I do know that if your child has like a learning disability or ADHD or dyslexia or something like that, you are able to get in because of those severe issues. So there may be some ways that you can do or get in or get this program. So my thing is everybody just apply. Okay, please apply. Okay, so let me go on. Let's see what's next. Okay, here's the timeline for new families. This is all for new families, okay? So again, renewing families, y'all have from December the 15th. So your application will open on the 15th for renewing families. New families, y'all start right here, January the 2nd. So y'all have January the 2nd to March the 31st. That's when the application will open. And out that link and all of that is on that website that Mrs. Craig is putting in the chat. Okay. On April the 15th, you will get a notification to your email that you were awarded however much 7,000, 4,000, 2,000. And I also say you get this money per child. So if you have 3 kids, you will get 7,000 per child for your child to go to a private school education, or you will get up to $4,000 per child for your child to have a home education program, which is private tutoring services, homeschooling services, okay, per child. So you're doing an application for each child, okay? That application for new parents is January the 2nd, March the 31st. Then you get your award letter. Okay. So after that, once you get that award letter, if you are enrolling your child in a private school, they are going to want proof of enrollment, meaning that you are taking your child out of public school and you are putting them in a private school situation. Okay. If they're not going into private school and they're going into a homeschooling program or they're just receiving private tutoring, you're going to tell them that when you do your application. Again, EB Academy is not a private school. It is a micro school under the homeschool law. Okay. Again, it is a micro school under homeschool laws. So the amount that you can get for homeschooling is up to $4,000 a year to help pay for whatever it is that you need to pay for homeschooling. I have a couple of text messages and chat messages, and I'm going to try to answer everybody in just a moment. After you apply and get your proof of enrollment on July 1st, and they are very specific. When they say July 1st, they mean July 1st. On July 1st, the money is available for you to spend. So, what I'm saying to you, if your child needs, let's say, um, summer tutoring, if they want summer, if you want them in summer tutoring and you want the Choose Act to pay for it and you were awarded starting July 1st, you will be able to pay for those services without paying out of your pocket. Let's say you have a pre-K baby who is getting ready to go to kindergarten for the first grade and you want them to get make sure they're solid and you want them to go and do some tutoring 2 and 3 times a day. That money is available starting July 1st. Now, how you get that money is a little different process, and that's a process that you will need to know after you have been awarded. So I'm calling everyone now to go ahead and start gathering up their things so that they can apply. And then if you get awarded by April the 15th, I'm going to look and see when that date is. I'll have a meeting with you guys to show you how to use your ESA account. It is not hard at all. I think is Miss Gaines here? Let me see. I'm looking in the chat. Is she still here? Oh, yes, I see her. Miss Gaines, are you able to come up and talk?
Are you able to hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
what were you asking? I'm sorry.
No, I was just wanting you because this is one of my parents who's currently enrolled in the Choose Act, and I just wanted you to kind of speak on this process and how this has been for you.
My camera.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I have
Uh-oh. Hold on. It's still muted. Okay,
oh,
there it is.
okay. I'm sorry. I have really enjoyed the process of the Choose Act. It has been very easy. Nothing is complicated about it. Miss Taylor sends the invoice. We talk about the date that I would like to schedule for my child. Miss Taylor sends the invoice with all the detailed information with the child's name, the sessions that will utilize, the cost, and I submit it. It's so easy. I literally do it from my phone. I download the invoice and I'm able to go in to the Choose Act and upload it. And you'll when you get in there, you'll see your balance of what you have remaining in your account, and you can think of it as like a Cash App account. Like it shows your balance. So once you deduct something from it, once an approved invoice has been deducted, you see what was deducted and what your balance will be. And so when the next invoice comes out, you upload it as well. I believe I uploaded at least a week before it's due, 1 to 2 weeks before it's due. And Miss Taylor is really good about planning in advance and looking forward on the calendar so we can make sure we get our dates in and everything is submitted on time for payment. And so it's been really easy. We used it last summer and we have used it all this fall as well. And we still have money there, which is such a good feeling, being able to afford the extra sessions when we need them, like needed them this summer, and being able to have them stronger when school started for the fall. So it's very valuable. And I've been able to use the money I have saved to put it on other things for him. So that way it's lightened my budget a whole lot.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much. And so usually what if you do get awarded the Choose Act and you use me as your private tutor, what I usually do, and I tell everybody, my parents usually book me out for the year. They be like, hey, Miss Taylor, I want this day, this time, and that's it. And so usually I think what me and Miss Gaines have done, we kind of planned out, and another couple of families planned out the sessions for the first semester. So Choose Act families got first priority because they were on my award list. And so we were able to get her sessions on, and I think we only had to change a little bit due to some tutoring for homeschoolers, but other than that, it's been very flexible. If there's let's say you had a session and you paid for it with the Choose Act, but you needed to reschedule, all of those things are worked out with me, or whoever your should be worked out with whoever your tutor is, so that you're able to switch those things around. Now, for homeschooling, the monies can be used for your homeschooling fee. If you're paying a private tutor, then that money can be used for a homeschooling, for some of those fees. Now, if you're doing the homeschooling yourself, excuse me, you can use that money to buy books, buy materials, buy programs for your scholar. So the money can doesn't just have to be used on services with a person. Like you can purchase things with it, like iPads, resources, books, um, also any type of any other thing that you can think of educational wise for your scholar. If they were a homeschooler, you will be able to purchase that as long as that vendor is approved. They must be an approved vendor with the Choose Act. Okay. So someone asked me, someone texted me, and I know we're right at the Q&A. So someone texted me and asked me, could they use these funds for private school and tutoring? And my answer is yes. I have a family who got the $7,000, but for her private school the fee was only 6,400, so she had $600 left. So what she did was she said, hey, Miss Taylor, I got some money left over and I need to get some extra tutoring services. So they used that 6,400 for the private school, and now I'm billing her sessions out for the remainder $600 for private tutoring. So yes, you can use your $7,000 if you have some left over for other resources, as long as that person, that vendor or whatever, is a vendor of the Choose Act. Yes, those were great questions. And so I'll take any other questions now. I'm trying to look through the chat. Miss Craig, did we have any questions? I've done a
Yes,
lot of
someone,
talking.
when you were talking about the household income,
Mm-hmm.
someone asked what if you are disabled? I'm guessing they're talking about themselves as a part of their income.
Yes, thank you so much. So, if that's an issue, or if that's where you are, I think you will have to show proof of income that way. Like how if you're disabled, you get maybe benefits or whatever like that. You show what income you have, you report that, and they will base it off of that. That's a good question. Any income that you're getting, they will base your application off of that income. They actually use your taxes. If I'm not mistaken, they use your taxes to go off of. So I wonder, do they file taxes? I don't know. Um, do you guys, if you file taxes, okay, you don't file taxes. Okay, now that's a question we definitely would need to I would probably need to get back with you on and talk with, because I have a relationship with the people at Class Wallet, so I can get with them and ask them those kind of questions to help you. And I see who that is. Thank you so much. I got you. I know who you are. Any other questions or any comments or anything? I'm looking to see if I see anything else. Crystal says she used her taxes. Yeah, I think they ask for your tax form. They do. But if she doesn't have taxes, I'm sure they'll probably take if there's like some type of beneficiary level letter or something like that, they should be able to take that. But I can talk with you offline, Mrs. Angela, and then I can get that information back to you. Someone said, yep, they may use a letter from the government that shows the amount that they get. Okay, thank you. Thank you. One of my parents, I think she's on YouTube. She's texting me. She's actually another parent who was awarded the homeschool. I know she can't talk because she's on YouTube, but she was another parent who was awarded the homeschool $2,000, and she has used that for her scholar this year in my homeschool program. Paid me for those homeschool services. So it can be used again for private tutoring, homeschooling, private school, or other type of educational resources for your scholars. Any other questions?
Miss Taylor, I want to add, correct me if I'm wrong, when you go to apply, there's a list, right? There's the list with all the schools that accept the Choose Act. So if you do choose a private school, there's a list letting you know which schools accept the Choose Act payments.
Yes, yes, yes. So, okay. Let's see. Yep, and they have to be. Thank you, Miss Craig. I'm glad you said that. The school has to be a vendor for the Choose Act. So if the private school is not a vendor for the Choose Act, but you got awarded the $7,000, you will not be able to use it at that private school. They must be an approved vendor with the Choose Act. Um, Someone asked, what if you're virtual under a public school? Good question. So, you can still be virtual under a public school and still get the homeschooling money for private tutoring services. Or let's say if I wonder, may I ask this question? Are you with AVL? I think they are. I think she is. Are
I
you with?
don't I don't think she
She's
is.
not with AVL. Okay,
No,
it's not
I don't think she
AVL.
is.
Okay,
Mm-mm.
because AVL is a private virtual public school. Um, and yes. So yes, my answer to that is yes. You should still be able to get that those funds because the funds are for private services. Now, if they are in home if they're in public school and you need private tutoring, then that money will be for that private tutoring. It will not be for homeschool education though. It will be for private tutoring. It'll be considered that. So those private tutoring, what is the amount I receive? Okay, good question. So if you apply, you can receive for private tutoring, you can receive up to $4,000 per child. $4,000 per child for private tutoring services. I think it depends on some of the things that you list out on that application, if you're going to get the two or the four. And you will be doing it per child. So I have a family now that has two scholars, and they were awarded the $2,000 and per child. So it was a total of four. And we have those tutoring sessions for each child mapped out. So yes, you will get it for up to $4,000 for home education or private tutoring, up to $7,000 for private school per child. So if you're putting them in a private school, it's 7,000 per child. 4,000 up to 4,000 if it's private tutoring or homeschooling.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Last year or this year, when they first rolled it out, I was on a call. Is it still, when they accept the applications, they're worked in a certain order? Like it's based on this, they work this type first and this type second and this type third.
I think
Um,
so. I think so. And what she's talking about is that's a good question, Craig. So if your child has any kind of IEP, 504, um dyslexia, they are the severe students that they will approve first. They approve them first. Any type of IEP, if your child has an IEP at the school right now and you apply, they will approve them first. In that, and then they will start approving everybody else. Good question, Craig. Thank you. Do you tutor high school students as well? I do. I don't advertise it as a lot, but I do. Actually, I'm kind of excited. I'm in the process of hiring some tutors to come up under me, so that because it's only one of me, and I've really grown a lot with the Choose Act. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I've really grown a lot, and so I am in the process of hiring. I've had people come out to me and ask me about ACT services and all of that. I don't do those, but I usually can pinpoint them to some people who do. But I only do it, Mrs. Scott, if I have the availability. Because right now, I can be very honest, I am a little tight with scheduling. And around this time, it kind of always picks up. So I'm in the process of hiring some other tutors who can come up under me and who can help the load up under my business. So thank you so much for asking that. Any other questions? hope this was good stuff.
I have one. How do you know if your tutor is a ESA? What you said? How do I find that out?
ESP provider. Okay, let me go. Hold on one second. Let me get out of this screen and let me give you the Choose Act screen. So this is the uh-oh, did I lose someone? This is the Choose Act screen here. Pretty much got all of that information off of there. But if you go on down, um, let me see. At the bottom here, at the very bottom, it shows you the guides and who is where. Let's see. Hold on. ESP guide. Nope, that's not it. Sorry. Wrong one. Where is it? Okay, there's the parent guide right there. Let me see if it's in here. It may be in here. That's talking about class wallet. Okay, so this parent guide does tell you what you can buy with those funds, fees that you can buy at participating schools, textbooks, after school programs, things that you cannot do with that. And let's look and see if they have the list of people. It's not on this it's not on that list. Let me go back. Did
Miss
I move?
Taylor, while you're looking,
Mhm.
we have questions.
Okay.
So the question I asked the question. So you said you're gonna hire some people up under you. Will we be able to use the Choose Act funds for those people as well
Yes,
because
because
they're under you?
they're under my business. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
And we have another question. Can students receive the Choose Act for tutoring if they receive other help with funding for tuition from the federal government?
Good question. It depends on what it is. You should be able to. Um, but because I think I had another family who was receiving something. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. That's something totally different. Who was receiving something with their private school, and they also was using it for the Choose Act as well. But I will have to actually save that question. Is that in the chat? I can see who said ask that.
Tech Boss.
Okay, cool. I need to do some research on that one, but I think so.
Miss Taylor, I
Yes.
think if you click on I'm a parent, I think that may take you to a potential list
Okay, let me see. Where was it?
right there. I
Oh, wait. No, it's just saying, did they take it off?
scroll up a little bit. That box, does that box not, if
This
you,
green one.
yes, it
No, it
doesn't.
just took me to this picture here.
Okay.
Let me see. That's weird. It was. Oh, wait. Participating schools. I was just about to say. Now I know it's
Okay.
on here. Okay,
Mhm.
so these right here, participating schools are the schools that you could use the $7,000 for, and it should. Yep, it comes up, tells you where they are, all the schools, names, and city. And it does the same thing for ESP providers. It tells you the category. So this is therapy. Wait a minute, where it is? Uh-oh, it's going too fast. Did I miss it? Okay, hold on. Let's refresh. Okay, let me go kind of slow. Okay, so for technology aids or computers, you can use these vendors. Um, K-12 educational therapy services, you can use those vendors with your Choose Act funds. And then, let's see, I think all the rest is probably like tutoring services. Let's see. Private school online. It's popping in between. Okay, there it is. K-12 private tutoring. So yes, to answer that question, yes, you can see it on there. So let's go back. So we went to resources for parents and guardians. And then under there, it tells you the participating schools and providers. And when you click on it, you can look and see if that vendor's name is on there. I think if I search mine, it should come up. Yeah. I coach LLC, Pleasant Grove. Uh-oh. It went off of there. This thing is tricky. But so if you hit the search bar, it should go back again. Let's try it again. Okay, yep, it highlighted it. I coach LLC, Pleasant Grove, Alabama. So yes, if you know the name of their business, you're able to search and find if they are a vendor or not. Good question.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Trying to see, did I get anybody else? Did I miss anybody? Anyone else have questions?
Miss Taylor, I'm going to go ahead and drop all of the links in the chat again, just
Mm-hmm.
every link that I have,
Mm-hmm.
so everyone can save the links before you log
Get
off.
off. Yes, yes. One of the ones I would love for you to, the class one that I'm on, the Choose Act, the one that I'm on right now. You want to definitely save that if you, especially if you're a new parent, you can find out all of the information I said and more by going to this particular link. And that's the one that says classwallet.com/AL choose. All of that information is on that particular link. You can either look up providers, renew your application, or apply all from that particular link. Now, if you are interested in knowing more, I have everybody, I pray that I have everybody's email who came on today, meaning that you registered. If you're on YouTube, if you would text me your email. I don't know who's listening, but my business number is 205-565-8493, and you can text me tutoring choose act, and I'll make sure that I keep you in the loop of everything, meaning if there's something new that's coming out, I'll remind you when the deadline or when things are opening, when it's getting close to the deadline. I'll also walk some people through if you need help with your application. I did that a lot last year. If you need help with your application, I'll help you do that. We can set up a time. Last year we met at the actual library a couple of times to help people do their applications. So if you're interested in that or need help with that, you can text me at 205-565-8493. That's my business number. And I'll get you connected with everything so that this can be an easy process for you. I don't want to just dish information out to you. I want to help you and guide you along the way. Whether you are doing private school, whether you're doing homeschooling, tutoring with me or anybody else, if you need assistance, I'm here to help you. But this is all that I have for tonight. Again, I hope that this has been very informative. If you have any questions or anything, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I've had a couple of parents already texting and calling, so I'll get back with them in just a moment. But that is all I have for tonight, you guys. I pray that this has again been good. I hope that you really dig in just to try it to see what if you can get this grant money for your child, so that you can and use this money for private your services with your scholars. I think this is a good benefit, way. I'm not encouraging you guys to take your child out of public education. I'm not encouraging you to I think that's what a lot of people thought, like they were trying to get their child out of public education into private school. But this is good if your child is struggling in reading or math or need any kind of extra assistance with something. You can utilize these funds for these services. And so it's out there, and I just encourage everyone to use that. Okay. Again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Thank y'all so much, so much, so much for joining. And hey, spread the word. This is on YouTube, so I'm going to send everybody the replay link. If you know someone who may be interested or just have questions or need to know more about the Choose Act, send them this video and get them connected with me. I'll love to assist them. I love you guys. Thank y'all so much. And thank you to all of my parents, whether you are currently with me, have been with me, or getting ready to get started with me, for allowing me to be a part of your child's academic journey. Y'all have a good night. I'll see y'all later.